Looking for a way to get healthy? The Chef You and I program has the answer. Kathryn Raaker and chefs from around the nation will teach even the most inexperienced how to cook. Come into their kitchen and watch them take ordinary foods with loads of calories and fat and turn those foods into healthier dishes. You will be the first to get tips and ideas on foods that are easy to prepare. Now let's join Kathryn and today's chef and learn how to make today's recipes.
We're back on the Chef You and I with Kathy Mitchell and her new book. Is this your new book?
Yes, well,
Dump Dinners.
Dump Dinners is a new book.
Dump Dinners is a new book. Kathy, how long have you been cooking?
Since I was 8.
Since you were 8.
So that's about 60 years.
See, 7.
All right.
Right? And I'm 70.
My gosh.
I know. Is that amazing or what?
That's why we're good cooks, right?
And that's true. And I want to welcome you to our show, The Chef You and I.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
Such a gorgeous redhead.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. What inspired you to write the books?
Well, I've seen some dump cake, we'll talk dump cakes first. That was the very first one. Somebody asked me what a dump cake was, and I just went, are you kidding? It's this. And I started talking about it, and we decided that there needed to be a cookbook because I first was introduced to dump cakes back in the 50s, the late 50s,
right.
Probably by a little recipe in the newspaper.
Right.
And I've always been fascinated with doing things the wrong way.
Really?
Yeah.
I know.
And having it work,
Don't you love to experiment?
Yeah.
I love, because I remember, my mom, I think the first recipe I did was with Bisquick and dumping it into a pan and making something out of it with peach cobbler.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Our mothers were World War II gals, right? And there weren't a lot of things out there, especially during that period of time. Am I right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And we had to get creative with what we had.
Right.
And I remember then we had it was a big deal. Every Saturday night, we'd play cards. My parents would play cards at someone's house. They'd go back and forth. And when it was at your house, you had to have dessert.
That's right.
And my mom and I found this little recipe in the newspaper for dump cakes. It called for a can of crushed pineapple, a can of fruit cocktail. You just dumped them in the pan.
Right.
Sprinkled the cake mix on the top, and then sliced up 2 cubes of butter. Sliced it up and laid it all over
on the top.
Oh, how bad could it be, right?
Right.
And yeah, exactly. And we served it that night, and it was just a big hit. You served it warm with whipped cream or ice cream or something. And that was the dump cake recipe. Well, now when I got the idea to make a cookbook for it, now I use a lot of the cake mixes and the fruit with a water, like a sparkling water, or different flavors of soda, diet soda,
well, maybe you can even help me invent a cake made with a product called Yippee. It's a vegan powder that's a protein powder, and I have to make a cake with it. So I'm going to charge you with that.
All
How
right.
about that?
I'll go to work on that. Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, because it's a protein shake, actually, that you make, but we're making it into gravies, and we're making it into lots of different things.
Is that anything like a powdered peanut butter?
Actually, no, and he created a new peanut butter out of it as well, and it's just so good for you because it's vegan.
Yeah.
Right, and everything's gone vegan, right? So tell me about your dump dinners, your new cookbook.
All right. Well, when we did dump cakes, I kept thinking of dump dinner recipes, and I convinced him to let me put a little bonus cookbook in with some dump dinner recipes in it. And I said,
right.
I think dump dinners is going to be more exciting than dump cakes. And as it turned out, it is.
It is. Let me ask you a question if this one is in there. And the Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts used to make it. It's made with SpaghettiOs. It's almost like a chili. Baked beans, right? Ground beef. And if that's not in your cookbook, I'll give you the recipe.
It's not in my cookbook, but it could be in the next cookbook.
It could be in the next cookbook.
But
it's my husband's recipe.
All right.
How about that?
But he's got the idea that I feel like there's so many people, and you see it on sitcoms all the time, where the mom on the way home from work goes through the drive-thru and walks in the front door, and it's like, 2 bags, dinner's here. Yeah, and I feel so bad that families are being raised on that kind of food.
Well, it's really funny because we share the same feelings because our show is a healthy cooking show. So we take a lot of the things that are out there and we make them healthier.
First of all, my belief is this, and you involve your kids in the cooking, I don't care how picky the eater is, they will eat what they help cook.
That's right.
And so,
well, listen to this. I have a 4.5-year-old granddaughter who comes on our cooking show all the time, and she eats everything we make.
right.
And the one thing that she started with was learning how to make chicken soup. So every time I go there, we make chicken soup. So we're going to take one of your recipes out of your dump dinners, if it's all right with you.
Sure.
Because in a couple of weeks, we're going to be working with a 5-year-old, and that'll be really cool.
Well, I might recommend the pizza recipe that's in there, because I haven't met a kid yet that doesn't like pizza.
But she likes everything.
Okay, well, you can look through and find one she likes, but I'm going to share with you one of my favorites, which is to take a can of Grand's biscuits.
Of what?
Grand's, just the refrigerator biscuits.
Okay.
Cut each biscuit into 6 pieces and just throw them in the bottom of a big pan.
Okay.
You take marinara sauce out of a jar, your leftover from last night, whatever, splot some on there, add pepperoni or olives or mushrooms or onions or whatever you like on a pizza, just kind of sprinkle it across there, top it with your mozzarella cheese and pop it in the oven for 25 minutes. It puffs up. It's like a monkey bread pizza. You can pull off chunks of it. It's gooey and warm and delicious, and I haven't met a kid yet that won't eat it.
We'll definitely do it.
Or want to make it.
Okay, well,
So
definitely do it.
I think you'll like that one.
I really want to get this book too, because we'll do a dessert with it. We'll make a whole meal out of
Yeah,
it. How about
we'll
that?
get you both books.
Now, where can people purchase your books?
Well, these books are available just about all the retailers I've been talking to, because they came in Walgreens, Walmart, Kohl's has them, Bed Bath & Beyond. Plus, they're also available at the BuyDumpCakes.com website or BuyDumpDinners.com website.
And
HSN has them.
Oh, great.
So anywhere you can find them. I'm always looking. I go shopping. This is the first place I go to find my cookbook in the store.
I wish you'd do a book for kids.
I'm going to. That's on the works.
That's on the works.
On the works.
All right. And
I have lots of them coming up.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much for joining us today on The Chef You and I. Give that website out one more time.
It's BuyDumpCakes.com or BuyDumpDinners.com.
Be right back after these very important messages on The Chef You and I.